this is a question, I think, if according to the theory, there's a New England Journal of Medicine, there's many years ago, there's a publication about percentage. Perhaps genetic factor count about 15%, environment count about 70%. I'm not sure about this exact number because many things we don't know yet. However, the things for sure is that disease and tumor development is determined by genetics and environment. That's the slogan. It's easy to see. On the other hand, many diseases, including part of breast cancer, are genetically controlled. Like 10% of breast cancer patients with family history, they are a kind of BRCA. You heard about a gene called BRCA. With BRCA mutation, those kind of patients you can see is genetically related. The others, even HER2 positive, so far you cannot see HER2 is inherited disease, but there's a trend, but you cannot see that. But BRCA1 is a genetic disease for breast cancer instance. Is that right? So, yeah. So that's my understanding.
I was going to just make one comment related to the genetics and the environment, because in obesity that's always asked too. So is it genetics or is it the environment? The answer is yes. So there are cases where the genetics are so strong, but it's pretty rare. I mean, it's extremely rare in obesity where you get, there's one gene that's been described, and I think there's 3 people in the world that have it, that basically, no matter what, they're going to be obese. So most people are in this continuum. And the way to think about it is, your genetics kind of sets the parameters, and then depending on how what your environment is, you'll be close to the good end or the bad end. Another analogy people use is the gun and the trigger. The genetics is the gun, the environment's the trigger. There's nothing wrong, the gun is safe, it's fine until somebody pulls the trigger. So, depending on where your parameters are, and then what you do with your environment, partly you control, partly you don't control, the trigger may be released or whatever.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that genetics play 100%, at least in the world of cancer. And you need that trigger to come along. And everyone, it may not just be one trigger, it may be multiple triggers that have to happen at the same time. So we're years and years away from understanding this very complex connection between the environment and genetics. And it'll be our next generations that hopefully allow us to do the Star Trek thing where they beam you and they look at you and they can tell you exactly what you're going to get, and that probably will be personalized medicine. It just won't be in the 21st century.